Welcome back, friends, to another Reverse 1999 video. Today I wanted to go over my team comps and strategies that I used around beating the new Limbo stages. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into there. And we're going to Limbo. So let us start with stage 1. We're going to go ahead and reset and kind of do like a live recap of everything. And I'll go through each of the stages, and from there just kind of talk about the strategies that I'm using on each one. Because each element for this week is starting with the mineral, my team based around Eternity for the mineral. I used her, Sonetto of course. I threw in Tenant just to have a literal shield on turn 1 and turn 2 just for a little bit of survivability. I didn't really run into a lot of trouble, or honestly any trouble at all. Let's throw this on her right now. I didn't really run into a lot of trouble at all while going through this, but sorry, there we go. A lot of these stages give you kind of buffs and bonuses right off the bat. So let's look at this one. Attacks against the enemies of a weaker Afflatus with ultimate to increase damage by 30%. On this one, we're just straight up starting with 3 ultimates, plus 5 Moxie when casters enter the battle. So that's the other one. Depending on what level you have your characters, my Eternity is Insight 3, and she is Portray 0. So just 1 copy of her. Sonetto is Portray 4, and Tenant is Insight 2, Portray 1, I believe. I could be mistaken. Let me go look at her after this, and I'll let you know exactly what it is. On this one, we're just going to go ahead and just nuke real quick, and we should have a good turn of events. Pretty much a turn 1 or turn 2 on this, depending on what levels you have. I did push my Eternity to 60, but 100% you don't need her to be at 60 to clear any of this content, if not all of it. We'll find out once we get to the last stage. I started it, I tried it one time, got straight clapped, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna try it again whenever I get home. So on here we just tank 3 ults, and then it should just be cleanup duty on this. Go ahead and knock him out first since he's going to attack. Go ahead and knock him out next with her ult, and then we'll just go ahead and get a free shield off. But yeah, this week was really easy if you guys pulled for Malenia. It made it a huge difference in just clearing it as fast as possible with your secondary team on the Beast. If you didn't get Malenia, for sure there is a team that you can use. The little archer girl, I forgot her name right now. We'll check it right when we get out. But you can use her, or the lovely lady. I also forgot her name. Let me get out of here and I'll remember all of them. It's been a long day. I was trying to catch up on Honkai Star Rail so that way I can start doing some content for that. Maybe some lore content or something. I'm not really big a numbers person on those games, so I don't really want to do like team builds or anything. I'd rather stick to the lore content because I do enjoy it. All right. Let's go ahead and finish this off and be done with it. Okay, easy enough on that. Really nothing special about that first stage. Second stage is basically the same team, just pulling in a different set of people. Now my Malenia is Portray 3, or Portray 2, but I did clear this before I summoned for more of her. The other character I was talking about was Lilani. On my free-to-play account, free-to-play account, I did clear up until 5 with her as the main DPS. DK was on the team as well. And my last character was Matilda for that, and I was doing it with 3. I got up to Limbo 5. So you definitely can do it with the fully maxed out Leilani, DK, and Matilda. But for this, we are tryhard, so we are going to go Melania, Sotheby, DK, and Bicorn Blue. And this one is a lot stronger clear because of how strong Melania is against these characters. So it's pretty goofy. Let's go ahead and knock you, hit you with that, and then we'll just get an ult off on there. This one should be like a 2 or 3. Oh, there's an extra enemy on this one. Same stats. I'm not sorry, stats. Same event buffs for this one as well. Each Limbo will have their own set of rules, of course. And then stage 1 and stage 2 are usually the same thing, if not always the same thing. I don't know how they'll be in the future, but for right now, they basically stay the same thing. Really, most of these stages at this point, if you have your characters at Insight 2 or have pushed your main DPSs and stuff like that to Insight 3, you should be able to finish these things within 5 or 6 turns. Longer will be right around 10 or 11. I don't see anything Limbo 1 through 5 having any trouble really hitting that 12 and 15 mark. It just doesn't make any sense that it would take that long. But if you're having any trouble, please down in the comments, just let me know. I probably should have a Discord up and ready to go once this video's out, so I'll have the link and everything ready. You can join the Discord. I'll be more than happy to take a look at the pictures you guys send of your box and help you guys make some decisions on which teams you're going for to help you with the Limbo. Go ahead and knock these out real quick. So very basic. I mean, last Limbo was basically the same thing. That stage that a lot of people had trouble on was the trash bag stage, just because the amount of damage that they were outputting. This one, really up until like the last stage, I really didn't run into anything that was any kind of like damage disruption. For those of you who have weaker characters, I would say, when you're getting locked out of your skills and you don't have the sustain or the HP and defense and stuff like that to really survive through a bunch of turns not taken, it's okay to just reset it, because it's random on who they disarm. So just reset it so your DPS doesn't become the one. I just let it play through so that way you can see that it is possible even when getting the disrupt. It's not something that's just detrimental to going through the stage. I'm going to skip over to 5 so that way we can kind of get some of the harder content. 2, 3, and 4. Very basic like the first one. There's nothing really special about those. We'll go ahead and reset this and check it out. But same team setup literally for every stage is Eternity as main DPS with Sonetto and a support to keep them alive, and then Melania or Leilani as main DPS and supports and like an off DPS or something just to keep them alive throughout the stages. So very simplistic this week. I mean, we got lucky with a real easy one. Whoops. Hold on, let me reset this. Went into battle with the wrong team. Let's go ahead and exit and go back and fix that. I was talking, I forgot what I was doing. But yeah, like I said, very, very simple setup. Any mineral DPS for the first, and then just survivability. And then for the second, any beast DPS and survivability on that. Oops, there we go, confirm. Let's go ahead and just give her a random one real quick. I need to go set that up. I think someone else is using hers, that's why it keeps on having that. So this one's kind of annoying. The thing with this one is that if the caster has not acted in a round, they gain 1 buff of sturdiness. So a little bit more tanky. These guys right here, when they take lethal damage, they gain plus max HP and lose all moxie. Only triggers once. So you're technically fighting 2.5 enemies here. So once they get a little bit lower, don't go all in with an ultimate and waste it on a very last hit. Wait until they've refreshed, come back to live, and then burn them down with a big attack. So that way you can get it over the mark of just 12 or 15. It makes a big difference. I made the mistake of wasting all the ults. Luckily, my Eternity had a 3-stack of of her AoE, and I was able to just knock them down pretty quick because they do some decent damage, even with these characters that I have that are pretty beefy. So just survive through them. Use Sonetto to her advantage, debuff their attack so you take less, and just focus on one at a time. If you have Tenet, go ahead and use the buff every single time so that way you can have that. I didn't need to use it this time. Again, I'm talking and making mistakes, but I didn't need to use it right now because they're not going to attack. Yep, so same thing. Okay, I was just reading what that was to make sure I wasn't missing it. So again, same kind of concept here. We'll go ahead and debuff him so he doesn't attack. We'll go ahead and put some more damage on him and just cycle this over and over on this one until it gets to the end point of this. And I'll show you what I'm talking about once we get to the end. We can use the ult now because we'll definitely have it back up. We'll go ahead and get that debuff ready for the next one. We can tank this one because we're going to have the shield on, so we'll eat a little bit of the damage and it's not too detrimental. She's going to have her ult next round, so she'll heal through that. We'll have the buff ready to go. We can stack it to 2 if we want to. We have 2 buffs, so that way we can get a little bit of chunk on. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to go ahead and get a larger buff for the shield. We'll go ahead and buff up for the damage, get the ult in and the shield. This round is about survivability, really, and get Eternity healed up. She now should have her 5 stacks of her passive and start getting some, pretty decent heals every turn. Honestly, at this point, she can probably solo it. I wouldn't see why not. And like I said, she's a portray 0. Nothing real crazy on her. So here, we do have enough damage to push him down to reset his Moxie, which will heal him, but it won't allow him to do his ult. So we'll stop his attack. And then we'll go ahead and do enough single target damage to make sure he's gone. And we'll do an AoE to get this second one a little bit lower after we're finished. He's disarmed. This should push him down. The AoE should pop him and make him use... Okay, so his Moxie is gone. His ultimate is gone. He's healed back up to 30%. So now we're just cycling back through. We'll go ahead and get some AoE on all of this and a buff at the end. And don't be scared to use 1-star abilities. The damage difference, it does make a difference, but if you're having to rotate cards and using up a slot, then you're slowing down the progress of your other characters getting their ultimates and being able to have any kind of viability in the fight. We'll go ahead and knock him out completely. That he won't be able to make his move next turn, and then we can go from there. Yep, we'll go ahead and do that. Disarm him. He's not making a move. So now we have knock him down to the 30%. So we'll go ahead and buff. Just get him down to the 30%, and we'll ult to take him out as well. Right now we're on turn 9. I definitely could have done this a lot better if I was paying attention and not talking, but it's the price to pay. We'll get it under 12 so that way you guys can see. And my Tenet is not built up at all. She's straight garbage right now. So that's that. We'll go ahead and move on to the exact same thing with Melania. And just so we don't make this video go too long, I'll go ahead and set up a second part of this for the stage 6 on a different video. So let's check him out real quick. Enemy intel. Which one was it? Okay, so this one you kind of have a midway point. When a round ends, if the caster's HP is above 50%, current HP minus 20%. If the caster's HP is below 20% or 50%, plus HP lost 10%. So once you get him close to the 50% mark, you want to do a big burn to knock him down as fast as you can. If you have enough damage to just go straight through, by all means go all straight through, but that's the strategy, is your big chunk comes here. You want to edge him to the 50% mark, do a big chunk of damage with buffs, ultimates, everything to get him as low as possible, and the next 2 attacks you should be able to take him out. So right now, our plan is to build Melania's ult up, so we'll just go ahead and get all this in. We'll go ahead and pop her 1-star heal, so that way she can start a healing process when everyone's starting to take damage. Then we'll work on getting the 2-stack and 3-stack if we have the ability to do so on Sotheby. And we also have DK as backup heal as well. Kind of overkill, but your main focus is just getting damage off of Melania and keeping her alive. Just getting some moxie on everyone, trying to get them ready, trying not to do too much damage real quick, and get them things built up. So man, we got a lot of healing and stuff like that. Unlucky, but that's okay. We'll go ahead and swap it out. Okay, a little bit better. Yeah, so we're gonna get ult off of this. We're gonna get ult off of this, and we'll get some damage on that. Just overheal. Get that out of the way. Okay, so you see how he healed? It's because we brought him under 50% health. Now we are definitely blocking his ult because we have things to kind of utilize with Melania. So he's not going to be able to ult. We'll do a big chunk of damage, and then we can go ahead and work on finishing him off in the next round or 2. We'll get her ult up so that way she can make a move after that as well. And we'll have another big chunk of damage coming in. And this is where if you have some points stacked up because we haven't used too much, we can go ahead and spend it all and get him going down. Got his ult again. We have the ability to stop it, so we'll go ahead and do so. This should finish him off. If not, next round for sure. Like I said, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave comments down below. I love answering questions, and I love communicating with you guys as part of the community and stuff like that. And maybe my build is not the best one, and you guys have some advice for me. I'd love to take that and utilize it and try it out where I can. So this should go ahead and finish it off. Yeah, that's a big chunk of damage. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for watching. If y'all have any questions, like I said, reach it down below. Thank you so much for all the support you guys have been giving me so far. I can't wait to see y'all in the next video.